Hello, assalamu alaikum. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the breakfast show with me and Anoushey. We are here on City FM 89. How are you guys? Friday morning, Jummah Mubarak, a great day to start the morning with prayer, with meditation, with good wishes. So I've made like this Friday ritual of sorts, right? That agar Jummah hai, agar log साथ हैं, तो हमेशा दुआओं के साथ एक अच्छी फील के साथ just throwing out good energy into the universe and to everybody else, right? Again, a mindful but very small contribution from my end to just improving the vibes around us. So do you believe in vibes, you guys? You do believe in energies that people let out. A lot of people think that these things don't mean anything. But to me, these days, vibes mean everything. You walk into a place and you know how it makes you feel, that you get a good vibe, you get a bad vibe, and then that's your gut. जब एक ज़माने में कहते थे trust your gut, it's probably like respond to the vibe in the same way. Let's talk about some vibes today. How are you vibing? What is the music that you feel like vibing to? While I begin the show, stay tuned and good morning. 6th of September, and we were talking about vibing. Is it important to vibe? I would say, again, one can use this terminology in so many in ways, right? But if you want to vibe alone, for instance, practice mindfulness, develop a hobby, learn a new skill. If you want to vibe with people, join a group class, cycle with people, join a gym with people, indulge in healthy group activities, then you're vibing with people. If you want to make the vibe of your place spiritual, I guess use nice incense, get a prayer mat, a little corner with earthy things like plants and wood. The sound of running water just helps with that. So I guess working around your vibe for any given environment can be really, really cool and beneficial. So what is your vibe this Friday morning? You can text in 03142898989. We are playing you tons and tons of music. That's what I do for a living. And I feel lucky about it because I just love my songs. There is no taking them away from me. So enjoy the next couple of tracks and we'll see you back on air right after. We were talking about cleaning your environment and cleaning your vibe and making it kind of nice and yummy. Imagine your feelings are visible, like an energy field around you that changes color every time you experience different emotions. And of course, the cooler colors are that you are feeling low in energy. Warm colors are you feeling high in energy. But colors are also different based on how pleasant the emotion that you're experiencing feels, right? So we would take the color yellow, for instance, where you're joyful and you're happy, optimistic, you're proud, you're silly. Generally, we are like, why are you feeling blue? Because the color has been associated with sadness, boredom, loneliness, depression. Green is when you're calm and content and satisfied. Red is when you're angry, stressed, upset, anxious, irritated, right? So there is a way to do a vibe check. Apparently, it's a thing. So at the moment, you can use your body for clues. If you're slumped over or breathing slowly, you're in a low energy state. If your shoulders are tense and your blood is pumping, it's probably high energy. So what is the color of your energy field at this moment? I would say mine is green. I would like it to be yellow. I want to be joyful, thrilled, optimistic first thing in the morning. But right now I'm calm and content and satisfied. I'm not bouncing around. Maybe after a cup of chai, I'll go into like a green energy field. But what is your energy field? At least अपने vibe check में ये चीज़ तो पहले देख लें. And get curious about where your vibe is taking you. How about that, guys? I like this whole vibing early in the morning. All right, you guys. Welcome to the breakfast show with me and Anoushey. And how's your morning coming along? How are you feeling? I was telling you about checking your vibe. Of course, if you're feeling a little anxious, you come into the red category, and there's some habits that can tend to make anxiety worse. Skipping meals, and I think you and I do that a lot, right? people just generally skip meals and they think कि हाँ ठीक है रात में खा लूँगी या एक मील खाऊँगी लेकिन बड़ा खा लूँगी. I'm not saying that you should be stuffing yourself, right? You have to know what works for you. But really skipping a meal when you know there should be some food in your belly at this point in time, taking advantage, you guys. Don't do that to your system. Of course, not moving your body enough. Like on the days that I'm off and sometimes I'm really tired, I'm literally on the couch, which is great. But now I've realized that not taking even say 2,000, 3,000 steps a day, many of us don't. Many of us sit in the car, we love the AC, we get to work, we sit on the desk, we love the AC, we get out of there, we sit in the car, we love the AC, we get home, we sit around the couch. That literally, but if you had to watch, you would be embarrassed by just noticing how much you move or not move rather. So those are a few things. And I have a list of a lot of things that have made my anxiety worse and how I have curbed them. So stay tuned. I'll tell you more. Let's fight anxiety together. Guys, not having enough water. Do you all know this? Makes your anxiety worse. You need to be hydrated for your body to function well. Body functioning well is also directly connected to you feeling good, right? Googling your symptoms, एक तो अगर बैक में दर्द है, आँख में विजन कमज़ोर हो रही है, कहीं bloating हो रही है, you know, when you Google your symptoms and you get such terrible things to gauge, and there are endless articles here and there, and it really doesn't help. So understand that and keep in the company of good thoughts. Again, a culmination of a lot of things. Living mindfully, taking time out to not surround yourself with too much confusion. You know, anxiety is the calling of the hour. It's horrible. And in our age, it is the most pronounced problem now for the younger generation. So here's the big prayer again, because it's Friday, hoping everybody's anxiety gets under control. Few things that you can do to keep a power over a situation. Yep, there are a few ways, and I made a list. Power of silence, you guys. If anybody tells you that such and such person is speaking of you, said that about you, do not make excuses about what is said of you. But answer, he does not know my other faults. Else he would have not mentioned only these. You know what I mean? Wise people, they sometimes are okay with their flaws. Don't let your ego blind you. You don't have to go around defending your actions. Somebody says something about you, say, oh my goodness, so sad they feel that way. And that's it. Because the person A who's telling you is also looking for information now. And if you're one of those people who tends to take up a situation and complain a lot, you know, Marcus Aurelius once said that don't be overheard complaining, not even to yourself. And complaining is perhaps the simplest and most ineffective thing to do. So if you have the ability to change a situation, do so. And if you do not have the ability to change the situation, you can shift your viewpoint. The mind gives up and surrenders before the body. And these are stoic virtues, right? Which include endurance and perseverance as well as composure. Really come in handy in the longer run. Sitting around and wondering what to do this Friday. What are your weekend plans? I may go off to Hyderabad tomorrow for some work. So such is life. We were talking about silence, you know? And again, there's a saying by Marcus Aurelius, which really hit home. Don't tell them, show them. So waste no time arguing how a good man should be. Become a good man. Become a good person. कि लोग आपके पीछे बोलें कि यार ये इंसान ठीक है. And what you do, not what you say you'll do, determines your level of success. So a lot of people like talking about themselves. A lot of people like coming across as more charitable, more genuine, more honest, less judgmental. But when they have to say it, I'm not judgmental. मैं क्या बोलूं? Really, you're constantly having to prove yourself. Maybe you are. convince people and show people and make them understand through your actions, not your words. And here's the great one, you guys. I really, truly enjoyed this one, Learn to respond, not to react. And many of us just react to a situation. Get really upset and we're like, we are just reacting and not responding. Alrighty, this quote that I was reading right now, I just wanted to share with you just some saying of a genius. Cato the elder said that I think the first virtue is to restrain the tongue. And he approaches nearest to gods who knows how to be silent, even though he is in the right. So a lot of us follow a lot of philosophers, prophets, and different saints, writers, thinkers. And 9 times out of 10, a deep, deep, deep thinker has always said, hold your tongue. Silence is a powerful tool. Know when to say what. Coming back to learn to respond and not react. So how one reacts to hostility is a strong evidence of wisdom. And maintain a cool, calm, and collected demeanor, right? And never allow anyone the power to make you angry. Should not happen. Cannot happen. And it'll be such an achievement. It's almost liberating to not be angered by any situation, right? And again, holding your tongue and being careful of what you say, right? The words that are once out have done their damage. Yeah, spend no time engaging in gossip, backbiting, and childish fights. Iski zarurat hi nahi hai zindagi mein. And learn how to sit still. Because all of man's problems arise from his inability to sit in a quiet room alone, says Pascal, right? So you overindulge in screen activities, but learn to be content with boredom. Too much stimulation also isn't the best thing. So maybe using this Friday or tomorrow Saturday, or taking an hour and just laying in the garden, going to a park and just being by yourself with a book, or maybe really not doing anything, just observing nature. I challenge you, if you can sit with yourself without touching anything or talking to somebody or looking at your phone for 20 minutes. It's going to be more difficult than you think it is, because that's how stimulation works and that's how addicted we are. A lot of people are also looking ahead and back in life to maybe reflect from where they're coming and where they're going. A lot of people moving out of the country, as we all know. A lot of people looking to shift jobs. I have some advice for you guys. Do not quit your existing job until at least they say that your side income covers at least twice as much as your monthly expense. So अगर घर से 50,000 में चलता है, then find a job that makes you 100,000. So you have twice as much as your monthly expense, right? If you know what I mean. Otherwise, there's no point quitting your job for 5, 7, 8,000, or maybe even a little more. 5, 7, 8. To khair, I'm talking about, jobs that may be of a lower tier. But you know what I mean. If it's not changing something substantially, then there's no point changing the job. Do not quit your job until they say that your emergency fund at least can cover 6 months of expenses. कि अगर 6 महीने नौकरी ना मिले, अगर तुम भूखे हो तो चल जाएगा, like then switch your job if that's what you have in your bank account. These are just tips and tricks that I'm reading off the net, but I also genuinely believe that there are a few more things they say you should not quit your job until certain situations. We will discuss them, but after a couple of more tracks. All right, you guys, you were talking about quitting jobs. Do not quit your job until your side income covers twice as much as your monthly expenses, and your emergency fund can cover at least 6 months of expenses. But also do not quit until you are skilled enough to make your side hustle your main business. Gain a skill. Sometimes we quit a job because we're like, अब हम ये कर लेंगे, लेकिन ये जो करने जा रहे हैं उसके बारे में कुछ पता है नहीं. You don't know anything. Like some people are like, yeah, I'm quitting my corporate job because I now want to get into the restaurant business, and they don't know कक जिसे हम कहते हैं about running a restaurant business. that's when you know that, okay, this person is being silly. Learn. And you have to be determined to work hard. And we lack that sometimes. Like, laziness is inherent. Don't make excuses. Rest is important. I say that all the time. Not overworking yourself is important. I say that all the time. But I never say that when you're working, slack. Work hard. Work as hard as it needs to be. Be able to gauge when you're working hard and when you're working long. There's a difference. In some odd news from around the world, climate activist Greta Thunberg has been detained at a pro-Palestinian protest in Denmark, right? She's been protesting against the situation in Gaza and Israel's occupation of the West Bank. And this was on Wednesday. And she was later released from detention, according to Danish media reports. But it's ridiculous as to what one country is doing and the other is just peacefully protesting an individual, a young girl. Two really strange situations, extremes, and who it gets under arrest. I hope people realize that oppression will only create more frustration. It will, and it has. And whoever has been on the wrong side of history has earned themselves not just disrespect, but a lot of people who are now at least in their conscience against them, right? On the surface, everybody keeps quiet, but in their hearts, the dissent, the hatred, the disrespect is something that they have now earned. And it's across the world for lots and lots of different leaders and this and that. But that is lost. That respect and that niceness has been lost. So no matter who you detain, what you do, who you pick up, who you put behind bars, the change from within is here, and that's scary for most of them. And what else is happening in the world of news? मुझे देखे जरा. Pakistan has basically fallen to 8th in the world test rankings, their worst test ranking in nearly 6 decades on Wednesday. Yep, the International Cricket Council has said after their shock 2-0 series defeat to low-ranked Bangladesh. So Bangladesh inflicted a 6-wicket defeat on Pakistan in the second test in Rawalpindi on Tuesday, their first series win against Pakistan. And that in turn led Pakistan to drop 2 more places from 6th to 8th in the test rankings after suffering a shock series loss, right? And the ICC has said that Pakistan is at its lowest ranking since 1965. Oh my goodness, this was supposed to be a fun show where I was, celebrating some of the small wins in life. But I was just reading the news and I'm desperately looking for something positive. If you have something to add, you know where to find me. In the world of science, very interesting news. There has been a strange new species of ants which have been named after Voldemort. Yes, the ant who must not be named. Deep underground in the ancient region, Pilbara region of Australia, basically scientists have unearthed a mysterious new ant species. And they've decided to call it Leptanilla Voldemort. And like all other Leptanilla ant species, it's like a ghostly critter, and it lives exclusively underground. It's also blind, so it's perfectly adapted to a life of darkness. And it's been discovered recently. Now, I don't know if you guys know, but Leptanilla ants are small, but they're generally mighty predators. Yep. The tiny workers, they basically use their sharp jaws and powerful stings to immobilize soil-dwelling centipedes, much larger than them. And then they carry, them over their heads, and then they feed in the community on the carcass. Quite something else, actually. I'm looking at their pictures. Microscopic, quite creepy looking. Sorry, I'm getting the heebie-jeebies. But, wow. The world and evolution, and ants and their smartness. something that always leaves me in awe, truly, nature. And some other strange news before we head towards the end of the show. There is a species of a sea pig. Yep, it has been nicknamed the Barbie pig because it's got this hot pink color and it's got really tiny feet. I'm looking at a picture on BBC Science Focus. Hi, Barbie. It's so cute. I mean, it's one of many amazing finds by a team of scientists who have spent the last few weeks researching 4,000 meters beneath the eastern tropical Pacific Ocean. So this is a region which hosts a thriving ecosystem, and largely due to marine snow, which is the continuous descent of dead algae, animals, and their poop, which sink to the ocean floor and then provide vital nutrients. And I'm looking at a picture of a Barbie pig. You have to see it underwater, you guys. It's too cute. Yep, weird things in this world. Evolution is real, almost creepy, but so interesting. And we've hit the end of yet another show on yet another Friday. Thank you for tuning in. Always such a pleasure. Gonna keep you guys in my duas. Please say a little prayer for me and for our entire team at City FM 89. Everybody is struggling in their own capacity, guys. So don't ever look at another person and think they have it easier than you. Maybe financially sometimes, but even that doesn't make life too easy. Depression is very real, and people's mental states are all over the place, as you have seen of late, whether you're moneyed or not. So keeping that in mind, always understand that practicing kindness as a first instance and feeling more mindful about the way you yourself are behaving in the environment and what you're adding to it in the second instance, excessively important. You guys take care. Here's wishing you a fantastic weekend. We'll see you back on air Monday morning. Take care. Have a great weekend.